press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello everyone, welcome to history class. Students, I will ask some questions to you. Now we can see in the modernization, industrialization, we have changed our lifestyle and also we have changed our food style. There are a number of things which was changed when we compare in the ancient days. Now we are wearing jeans pant, shirts, and also the women are wearing chudidar, like different type of modern dress that those are worn by men and women. And we have changed our food style, we have changed our different things have been changed as the time has changed. How did all these things come to India? And also, when did India get freedom? These things who have come to India after the independence. No, when did India get freedom? Those who ruled before independence of India. India, which was ruled by, there are many Europeans. The Europeans who came to India as a trading company. Nowadays, we have changed our lifestyle due to the influence of Europeans. Who are the Europeans who came to India? Why did they come to India? The first one is the Portuguese who came to India for trade into the eastern countries. And next, the Dutch came to India for trading in the eastern countries. The English who came to India for trade in the eastern countries. They wanted to gain more money by selling of spices item which is brought from India. Now we are going to discuss the second chapter, from trade to territory. Now we need to know that what is trade. A trade which means a goods and service, which a trade involved a goods and service from one place to another place, which carries from one place to another place. That is called trade. What is territory? A territory is a specific land. India is one of the territory. Before 1947, India it was ruled by the British. It is one of the most formidable company, the East India Company, who came to India and who ruled over India, who exploited India. Completely they looted over the India. Now we are going to discuss in this chapter, we will deal how did the Europeans come to India. Who are the Europeans arrived to India for trade? The first one is the Portuguese, Vasco da Gama, who came to India 1498, and next the Dutch who came to India 1602, the English came to India 1600, and next the last one is the French who came to India 1664. These are all the Europeans who came to India because they wanted Indian raw materials. Why did they want raw materials? Industrial revolution which took place in England and other European countries. They wanted raw materials to run their industries in England and other European countries. How did they get raw materials? They wanted to discover new sea route to other part of the world because they wanted raw materials to run their industries. Industrial revolution, which means there are number of industries which were located, which were established across the European countries. They needed raw materials. Due to the industrial revolution, they needed raw materials. Therefore, so they discovered new sea route to India. In this new sea route to India, there are many factors which helped to discover new sea route to India. Compass and astrolabe. These are all the factor. And next, second one is religious reformation. The Christianity which was born in the European countries, they wanted to spread Christianity across the world. Therefore, they discovered new route other part of the world. In the way of coming, the British also they carried the different ideas and they spread into the Indias. And also, how did religious reformation, industrial revolution, and next one is religious reformation, industrial revolution, geographical exploration. These are the reasons to discover of new sea route other part of the world. They find it America, Australia, India. These are all the lands were founded by Europeans because they needed raw materials. These are all the countries, one among them India. India is our country. We have to choose. In this session, we are going to discuss how did the Europeans come to India, who are the Europeans permanently stayed in India. There are 4 Europeans who came to India: Dutch, English, French and Portuguese. Among them, the English, one of the strongest company who stayed long years in India. How did they extend their empire? We will deal in this lesson how did they come, how did they extend their empire over the India, what were the manipulative strategies, and what were the ideas, and what were the thoughts which was employed by the British in order to extend their empire over the India. In this session, we are going to discuss how did they come, how did they extend, how did they employ, manipulate ideas to extend their empire, and what were the wars which took place between British and local native rulers, what were the policies which was employed by the British. All we will deal in this lesson. The first, from trade to territory. Trade to territory, the company establishes power. How did they establish power? When the British they were arriving to India, the entire India, it was ruled by one of the strongest empire, that is called Mughal Empire. Their capital city was Delhi. The Mughal Empire which was started by Babur. There are 1526. Babur, by defeating of Ibrahim Lodi in Panipat battle first, there of 1526, he successfully established the Mughal Empire in Delhi, the capital city. After the Babur he ruled 4 years. In the year of 1530, he died. Next, who came to power is the son Humayun, who came to power he ruled over the India from 1530 to 1550. After the Humayun, his son, the famous religious tolerance, his name Akbar. Akbar was called as the great emperor, the great Akbar, because he was famous for his religious policy. His religious policy, he loved all the religions. He did not hate any religion. That's why he was celebrating Hindu festivals. He appointed Hindu employers. Therefore, he was famous for religious intolerance. Okay. And next, Akbar was a famous king. He ruled 1556 to 1605. After the Akbar, his son Jahangir, who came to power 1605 to 1625. Next, Shah Jahan, the famous Taj Mahal, which was built by Shah Jahan. He ruled 1627 to 1658. Next, after the Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. Now we are going to discuss Aurangzeb. Who was Aurangzeb? Aurangzeb was the last of the powerful Mughal rulers. He ruled Aurangzeb. He was the last powerful Mughal emperor. He was not last Mughal emperor. He was the last powerful Mughal emperor. Powerful Mughal rulers. He ruled 1658 to 1707. Who was the one marks question? Who was the last most powerful Mughal ruler in India? Think it. Aurangzeb was the last of the powerful Mughal rulers in India. Who was the last powerful Mughal ruler of India? Aurangzeb. After the Aurangzeb, there were many emperors who came to power on the throne of Mughal Empire, but they incompetent king. They did not have the power. After the death of Aurangzeb, 1707. When was Aurangzeb died? Aurangzeb was died in the year of 1707. He established control over a large part of India, large part of the territory that is now known as India, which was known as, according to this book, which was known as India. Aurangzeb established a large part of India. Aurangzeb established a large part of India that is now known as India, which is known as India according to this book. Aurangzeb established a largest. How did they extend their empire? Through the wars, he extended. He controlled over north, west, east, south. All the areas it was conquered by Aurangzeb. Control a large part of the territory that is now known as India, which was known as India. Aurangzeb controlled over the large part of India that is now known as India. After his death, 1707. Before 1707, he achieved a lot of. There were a number of military achievements. There were a number of wars waged by him. After the death of 1707, many Mughal governors, Subedars, the Aurangzeb, he divided his kingdom, province, next Subhas. Every Subhas had Subadars. Here, let us take an example. The first, this is Maratha Subha. This is Maratha Subha. Next to Mysuru Subha. No, it is called as Karnataka. Next, this is called as Hyderabad Subha. And next, this is called as Assam Subha. Next, Bengal. Bengal, which means Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha. The three were included. It is called as Bengal. And next, this is Sikh Subha. All these Subhas, which was headed by Subedars. Example, Mysuru. Who ruled over the Mysuru? Mysuru was ruled by Wadayar dynasty. Maratha was ruled by Wadayar dynasty and Tipu Sultan and Hyder Ali. Maratha was ruled by Shivaji, the famous Hindu protector. And next one, Hyderabad was ruled by Nizam, Osman Uli Khan. And next one is Bengal was ruled by Nawab of Bengal, Sirajuddaulah, Murshid Quli Khan, Alivardi Khan. These are all the governors. And big Jamindars. Those who had a largest part of Jamin farm, they were called as Jamindars. Began asserting their authority and establishing regional kingdoms. Who established regional kingdoms? The first one is who established regional kingdoms after the death of Aurangzeb. The first one is Subadars. And next one is Jamindars. Who established their kingdoms, establishing regional kingdoms. Regional, which means all provinces. Maratha, it was one of the region. Mysore was one of the region. Hyderabad was one of the region. Bengal was one of the region. These regions were started by different now Subadars and different Jamindars. Now there are number of regions. There are 28. Total how many states are there in India? Total 28 states are there. Every state it was called as one region. Okay, Maratha province or region or province. Mysuru province, it was headed by every Subedars. The Jamindars began asserting their authority. They wanted to become freedom from the Mughal rulers. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮೊಘಲ್ ರೂಲರಿಂದ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. They were under the control of Mughal rulers. Okay, as powerful regional kingdoms emerged in various parts of India. Powerful kingdoms emerged in the various part of India. Example, in the south, one of the most powerful dynasty which emerged, that was called as Wadiyar dynasty. In the southwest side, Maratha dynasty, it was founded by Shivaji. And next one is Bengal, Nawabs, they were emerged. And next, powerful Delhi could no longer function as an effective center. Delhi no longer functions is an effective center because after the death of Aurangzeb, next rulers, they were not competent rulers. They were very weak rulers. That's why the Mughal empire was going to end. Therefore, Delhi could no longer function as an effective center. Next, by the second half of 18th century, which means 1760 onwards, however, a new power was emerging on the political horizon. A new power was emerging on the political horizon, which means new power means the Europeans already who came to India during this time after the 1760, all the Europeans already who came to India, they are the new powers was emerging on the political horizon. Political horizon means the light of politics, andre rajakiya ಬೆಳಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ the new power was emerging, which were called as Europeans. Europeans who came to India, they were called as new power. The British, let us discuss. Did you know that the British originally acquired territories? ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? How then did they come to be masters of a vast empire? How did they come to be master of vast empire? India is one of the vast empire from north to south, from Himalaya to Kanyakumari. Next, here is the Gujarat to Assam. Total length of India is 3,200 kilometer. Next, 2,900 width. This is one of the vast empire. How did they acquire? How did they come to be masters of vast empire? In this chapter, you will see how this come about. How did they come? How did they extend? Next, Bahadur Shah and his son being arrested by Captain Hudson. Figure 1. Look at the figure number 1. Bahadur Shah, he was the last Mughal emperor of India. After Aurangzeb, there was no powerful Mughal ruler. As we discussed in the earlier of this session, who was the most powerful Mughal emperor of India? Aurangzeb. But Mughal emperors continued to be symbolically important. After the death of Aurangzeb, he died in the 707. The Mughal emperor to be as a symbolical important. In fact, when a massive rebellion against the rule broke out in 1857. 1857, the first Indian War of Indian independence took place between Indians and native rulers. There are different native rulers who participated in this war, who waged against the British ruler, but all they were lost by the British. After this mutiny was led by Bahadur Shah. Therefore, he was arrested by, after the defeating of this war, he was arrested by English. And rule broke out in 1857. Bahadur Shah Jafar, the Mughal emperor at that time, was seen as the natural leader. Who was the natural leader during the 1857 war? Bahadur Shah II. And next to Bahadur Shah II, not first. Mughal emperor at the time, once the revolt was put down by the company, Bahadur Shah Jafar was forced to leave the kingdom. Once the revolt which happened, he was what happened, Japan forced to leave the kingdom, was forced by the British, and his son was shot in cold blood. Cold blood, which means very cruelly, he was shot by British. Okay. Next, let us move. East India Company comes east. East India Company comes east. What is east? What is east? East India Company comes east. What is East India Company? Which means it is one of the private company which was originally from east, which was originally from west, which means European countries. This is just, you have to think. Just you have to think. This is world map called west, east, north, south. Europe. Just you have to think. Okay, Asia, next Africa, North America, South America. These called western countries, these are called eastern countries. Now India, it is called as eastern countries. In 1600, the Queen Elizabeth, the East India Company acquired a charter from the ruler of England, Queen Elizabeth I. Okay, now, before what happened? Before we need to understand what was the situation of India. Why did they come to India, Europeans? Why did they granted permission for coming to India? Students, you have to understand, there was a trade and commerce relationship between India and Europe since ancient times. These trade and commerce which were taking place through the city of Constantinople. By this time, Arab merchant who buy these goods from Asia and then sell in the European countries. All the Europeans, they were non-vegetarian. They wanted spices items from India. The relationship between Europe and Asia, it was going very good way. By this time, 1453, it was captured by, Constantinople was captured by Ottoman Turk. Ottoman Turk levied too many taxes, the goods passing through these cities. Therefore, merchant felt that this business was not profitable. They wanted to discover new sea route to India. Therefore, all the Europeans who came to India. Why did Europeans come to India? Because they wanted to trade. They wanted to spices items from India. and then they through this way, by this way they were getting very profit, high profit by buying these goods. Therefore all the Europeans who came to India, I think you have understood why did Europeans come to India. The first one is they wanted to trade, they wanted to spices items from India or Asian countries, and next they wanted to spread their religion into the eastern countries, and next one is, and also these are all the reasons Europeans who came to India. 1600 the East India Company acquired charter. What is charter? Is the grant of authority or rights. Charter, which means, is the grant of authority of rights. Authority or rights, idu ondu adhikara. Charter. 1600 the East India Company acquired a charter from the ruler of England. Before what we have understood, what were the situation before 1600. No, 1600 the Queen Elizabeth, who had given the permission, who had issued the permission to trade in the eastern countries, which means India and other Asian countries, for 15 years only. 1600 December 31, you have to understand, you have to remember the date. When was Queen Elizabeth issued a royal permission to trade in the eastern countries? 1600 December 31st. December 31st. Before, who did come to India? Who came to India before the English? Already who came to India? Yaar bandidru hangadre? In the year of 1593, John Wilton, he came along with the Red Dragon ship. Red Dragon antakana ship nalli already bandidda. Next, but he did not establish any trade center in India. No, after 1600, the one of the St. John Company, what is the company name? St. John Company. It was issued by Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth, who has issued grant permission, who has issued a charter to East India Company? Queen Elizabeth. One marks question. When did she issue? 1600 December 31. Queen Elizabeth first. Queen Elizabeth first. She was the Queen of England. Granted it the sole right to trade with the East. Granted it, which means granted to charter, the granted by Queen Elizabeth first. What is sole right? Relating to one individual or group and no other. No other. One and only one East India Company, that is called as Mercantile East India Company or St. John Company. Sorry, Sam John Company. During this time, when Sam John Company who came to India, during this time, India was ruled by the famous King Akbar. Okay, and next Elizabeth granted it the sole right to trade with the East. To trade with the East, which means this is West, this is East. To say sole right, which means there is no other, only one and one British company, that is called John East India Company. This means that no other trading group in England could compete with the East India Company. In this East India Company, Mercantile East India Company, there is no another, not European East India Company, English East India Company. Okay, what is meant by sole right? This means no other trading group in England could compete with the East India Company. Okay, what is sole right? The meaning of sole right. The meaning of sole right. Meaning of sole right. No other trading group. No other trading group in England could compete with, in England, not European country. There were the Europeans who competed to the East India Company. Those who are Portuguese, French, and Dutch were there. But in England, no other trading group in England could compete. No other Europeans could compete with the East India Company. With the East India Company. Here, a name which clearly shows East India Company. India is located in the eastern countries. Therefore, East India Company, it was called as East India Company. Okay, East India Company. What is meant by sole trade? Right to trade? This means that no other trading group in England, not European, no other trading group in England. Clearly you have to understand, no other group in England could compete with East India Company. Those who are called as British, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, England. Those 4 members who are called as UK or Britain. UK, which means United Kingdom. Those who are the countries: England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. 4 countries, they are called as Britain. The company could ensure with this charter. When was East India Company established? 1600. Who had given the permission to establish East India Company? Queen Elizabeth. With this charter, the company could venture across the oceans. This is in Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, next Bay of Bengal. All the Europeans who came through this Arabian Sea, this charter of company could venture across the ocean. Which means ಒಂದು ಸಾಹಸ, ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಹಸವನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. Looking for new Indians from which it could buy goods at cheap price. Why did they come to India? Looking for new lands. They wanted to look new lands. So far, no Europeans who came to India, for they wanted to see new lands from which it could buy goods at cheap price. The company could venture across the oceans. Why? Because could buy goods at a cheap price and carry them back to Europe to sell higher prices. They wanted to buy the goods, spices items, very cheap price from India or Asian countries, and they sell in the European countries very low, highest price. Buying lowest prices, selling highest prices. Yes, buying highest prices and next selling lowest prices. Okay, therefore they came to India and carry them. Why did they come to India? Could buy goods at a cheap price, very lowest price, whatever it, spices items, minerals, muslin cloth, cardamom, pepper, cinnamon. These are all the things. India was famous for spices items. It was called as Kerala it is called as also spices land, the land of spices. They could buy goods at a cheap price, and next them back to Europe. They carry these spices items back to Europe to sell at higher prices, the company did not have to fear competition from other English trading companies. There was no another English trading companies, but there was another European companies were there, but there was no another English companies. The company did not have to fear competition. Why? How do you say that company did not have to fear competition from other English trading companies? Why? There was no other English companies. One and only one company was there, that is called mercantile trading companies in those days. Made profit. Which trading company was doing the business from east to west? That was called as mercantile trading companies in those days. Made profit primarily by excluding competition. Without competition, one and only one. What is mercantile? A business enterprise that makes profit only. The business enterprise, there is no service to the people. There is no mercantile which did not have any service rendering. It is only for this company, it was established, it is only for to earn the money, to earn the money by business that makes profit primarily through trade, buying goods cheap and selling them at higher prices. Buying goods very lowest prices. Okay, sorry, ulta aitu. Buying lowest prices, selling highest prices. Okay, buying very lowest prices and selling them at higher prices. What is mercantile company? A business enterprise that makes profit primarily through trade, buying goods cheap and selling them in Europe very highest price. Okay, which was the company located? Which was the company could be seen in during this day? Mercantile company. Trading companies in those days made profit primarily by excluding competition, though that they could buy cheap and sell dear, which means sell profit by far low price and sell dear, which means they were buying lowest price and they were selling highest prices. Okay, what we have discussed in this class, the first one is the introduction of chapter, who are the Indians, which was ruled by over the India, and next who are called as East India companies, and next how did they come to India, when did they come to India, why did they come to India. Next, let us move next period. Thank you.